anyway, I'll let you guys go. Go, man.
No, I'm just curious about the mindset of New Zealand. I can understand why they, you know what I'm saying, why they ain't like this here. But if he's mimicking somebody in New Zealand, I need to figure out what the fuck is going on in New Zealand. Because the best of my knowledge, all I know in New Zealand are the Samoans. So is this motherfucker saying they have a Samoan problem? Or is it Samoan motherfuckers over there in New Zealand? That's what I need to figure out.
All right, go ahead. Listen.
He shot up, I think it was like 50 Muslims. He went to a mosque and shot 50 Muslims specifically.
I thought no, that's what the dude did in New Zealand.
Yeah, New Zealand. You said New Zealand.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was basically he did it for his ancestors. He did it for the betterment of, because his life is changing. You know, stuff is changing. If you look on my page, we did a whole show on his manifesto. It was a great show.
Okay, cool.
It was a great show. Let me see, man. So a lot of people are talking about his ugly views, but I want to hear. It says we are seeing an entire generation of young people being radicalized by the internet. I don't know, man. Europeans always felt this way, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think the internet it gets you to get these views in the comfort of your own home, which I feel like is probably the different part.
He cites a manifesto posted by the man in 2019 who shot to death 51 Islamic worshippers at a mosque in Christchurch, New Zealand. Ooh, interesting name. And wounded dozens more. Genron, this is the Buffalo shooter, manifesto at times follows a similar question and answer format to the New Zealand document, copying some of the phrasing word for word.
Oh, he's trying to get his Morris 101s off, huh?
Who made you? Allah. Who is Allah? Father of the universe. Yeah, that kind of stuff. Genron points to the posts on 4chan and other sites that cater to white supremacists connected with hate-filled theories. I quote, I never even seen this information until I found these sites, he wrote. Oh, so you did get radicalized.
Yeah.
Claude Welch, a retired University of Buffalo professor of political science, highly regarded terrorism experts, described Genron's action as, quote, an act of domestic terrorism fueled by racist manifestos. The internet is an extraordinary source for helpful and hateful information. Wow. The accused shooter fills page after page of his manifesto with racist and anti-Semitic beliefs. Yo, man, I'm gonna tell you something, guys. We are not. I just want to tell you guys, because a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, we call ourselves black. We don't know our history, and a lot of us are black white. Some of us are black white supremacists. You know what I'm saying? You know,
right? You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad you said that, because that's what I wanted to introduce, because like take a step back, like, all right, so we don't take it to the level that they do and actually just go start blowing shit up, but for the most part, we do take pride in ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We do feel like we're quote unquote not under anyone. Actually, we actually feel like the way the totem pole is now should be reversed type shit. So I don't want to say it by term, but we kind of fit the characteristics. Minus the violence part. So does that mean we in turn need to reconsider how we approach shit, or are we missing a step that they take that we might need to be looking into ourselves?
Well, I think when Ali said some of us are black white supremacists, I got the impression he meant, well, he's right here now, but I got the impression he meant more so that we basically
hate ourselves,
but we
hate ourselves. Okay, cool. I'm listening. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got the impression he meant that we ourselves be doing white supremacist things, even though we have black skin.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Some of us. You know what I mean? Like, we're black by skin, but not by creed and culture.
Yeah. Genron subscribes to the racist Great Replacement theory, which holds that white people should fear losing their traditional culture to immigrants and other people of color whose population is growing faster than whites of European descent. That's the heart of it.
Yep.
But it's not just culture. It's actually What am I looking
Science.
for? Yes, the actual
we can't
physical
fight that.
DNA.
Yes.
It's biology, bro. We
Yes,
can't
yes.
fight that shit. We
Yes.
just start fucking, bro.
So
like we can't.
I want to
we
know.
Can't do nothing about
I
that.
want to know if these white supremacists know that they're genetically recessive. Of course they do,
Yes,
right?
science tells
Do
us
they
they are
do they
not.
acknowledge that they're genetically recessive?
Yes.
But then how can you be dominant? How can you be supreme if you're genetically recessive?
Because they control, at this particular point in time, because they control all aspects of
Yes.
culture.
The-
And
the-
if you
the-
leave
the
it up
levers
to
of power.
them, they were the ones that introduced that shit to us. Because technically, Western
Yeah, race is
society
social.
starts
Race is
at the
social.
Romans and the Greeks.
Right.
But they don't know that the Romans and the Greeks were influenced by the fucking Egyptians. But that's a whole nother story that they pretty don't want to get into. But, you know what I'm saying, with Rome and Greece being credited for introducing democracy in Western society,
Yeah.
technically that really wasn't us. Like
Yeah.
we were behind the scenes influencing America because
Yeah.
America's not a democracy. America's a democratic republic.
Huh.
Two fucking different things.
There you go. Sound like you just took a class, huh? You on
No,
your
this
shit.
is shit I already know. This is shit I know. You know what I'm saying? This is
Yeah,
shit I paid attention to in history.
I want people to also understand that Greece was not a heterogeneous society. Okay, it wasn't a heterogeneous. The Etruscans was there. You know what I'm saying? Many Africans was there. Greece, they loved Ethiopians. They loved Ethiopians. You know what I'm saying? They had a lot of Egyptian game. Like, you know what I'm saying? What's the word instead of game should I use? Like laws and
influence.
mystery schools. Influence. Right. So yeah, it was very multicultural. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? More than we think. I'm not saying it was like, you know what I mean? But like here in America, right? America.
Well, yeah, I mean, you just look at a map and you kind of see, like, yeah, it was very multicultural. Just where they were in the Mediterranean, it was literally next to everybody.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, man, I'm just thinking like, yo, you know, because basically what white supremacy is white supremacy is a tool to ensure the survival of their so-called race.
The genetic line.
Yeah, yep. It's a tool, yep. It said toilet paper was invented in 1857. The Renaissance, the 1600s to the 1700s. Yeah, but if you know what I'm saying about the Renaissance is, if you look at what spawned the Renaissance, it was Islamic a cultivation in Islamic, you know what I'm saying, thought.
But it was because the Moors had actually retaught the Europeans about Greek culture. The Europeans had forgot about Greek culture.
That's exactly what it was.
Because part of we talk about the Renaissance, part of it is a remembering.
Yes, it was, brother. Yes, it was.
But
yes.
The Moors and Islam had
Yes.
reintroduced those thoughts back to them. They had forgot their own history, basically.
That's right.
And we came and reintroduced the
That's
history
right.
back to them. Like,
and especially when we translated, excuse me for jumping in, but when we translated the like Plato and Homer and Socrates, we translated them into Arabic, which was it was basically from the Latin religions, and so then it can translate it to English.
right.
Wait, even if all of the so-called white people breed with colored people, the DNA still there. Huh. So yeah, but okay, all right. White supremacy states that if you have one drop of so-called Negro, you know what I'm saying, you are so-called not white anymore. That's what they say, right? So that means if everybody, you know what I'm saying, if every European girl, you know what I'm saying, mates with a Asiatic man, then there would be no so-called white people based on their definition of it. You know what I'm saying? Anyway.
Well, I mean, they barely consider Italians white.
Yeah, whatever white is, that shit is a hijack.
I'm saying
It's a hijack.
They barely, like, when Italians talk, they be looking at them like,
Yeah, because the original Italians, once again, you know, were Moors, or a mixture of them. It was multicultural. Anyway, initially, Gendron writes in his manifesto he considered taking his own life, but then he began planning a mass shooting. The manifesto has a numbing. Oh, My fault. My fault. God damn. My fault, boss man.
You hung up on him?
I forgot he was there.
Oh, okay.
My bad, brother. My bad, man. My bad. If you want to call in, you can, man. I apologize. Man, my bad. I was just going in. Anyway, the manifesto has a number amount of detail on the various equipment purchased, including critiques of the gear written in the style of online shopping reviews. It shows how Genron modified his rifles to make them even deadlier.
He wanted to let off more rounds.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't that like a law they was trying to pass? Like I forget what they're called.
You talk about with the extended clips?
Yeah, modifying that's like a super crime. Like, man, my words ain't together, man. But like, yeah, you get hit with a bigger crime when you modify triggers and shit like that. You know, it goes. Genron states in the document.
I'll read. Genron states in the documents that his goals are to kill as many blacks as possible, avoid dying, and spread ideals. So basically, spread ideals means, I think, create copycat situations. Go on to spread his gospel. Genron explains that he targeted the 14208 zip code because that area is the closest to his own in Conklin near Birmingham, Binghamton, that has the highest proportion of black residents. He opted to stay in New York because he believed with the strict gun laws, he was less likely to encounter someone who could use a high-powered weapon to slow or stop his attack.
Wow.
Ooh, gotta keep that hammer on you, Aki.
Yo, what's up, boss man?
Oh, no, you good. I just think that, just learning from this, it's about time that we all go get our permits, bro. Like, we all go get our permits, and we all go take not a self-defense class, but an offensive class, like something like Krav Maga, some maybe like what's an offensive martial art. Don't take no shit like capoeira. Like I respect to the art and all kinds of shit.
That shit ain't nothing, huh? That shit ain't got no bite to it.
Do that dumb, yeah,
that's a dance move, nigga.
Do that dumb shit out here, bro. Like learn and don't do jujitsu because you ain't got time to be rolling on the ground with nobody. You need to be picking shit with strikes like kung fu, wushu, or Krav Maga. Yeah.
Damn, dude. Yo, because I'm thinking like for real. So dude come out and he starts shooting crazy. What's he gonna call police? Like, nigga.
You ain't got time for this shit.
Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, dude, man, you might, you know what I mean? Somebody with a hammer need to, you know what I'm saying? Pull up and neutralize the situation, dog. Fuck the police.
Everybody look at the baby crazy, but I bet that nigga's a genius right there, huh?
Yeah, that nigga be bodying everything.
Bro, if that popped off, I bet you the baby would have shot that nigga on the spot.
Yo, honestly, I think that's where the gangbangers would come in, right? Because the gangbangers are supposedly like keeping shit on patrol and shit. Niggas came into your hood, letting the hammer fly. These are ops for sure.
And he's not supposed to make it out. Like if they were back on their pillars, on the shit that they was brought up on, he never would have made it out.
Yeah.
Actually, he probably wouldn't even have gotten in there. He would have checked him before he got through. You know what I'm saying? Through the door. Like once he got to the neighborhood, they would have been on his head talking about what the fuck you doing around here. If you ain't buying, then you got to get the fuck out.
He had armor on, so they say. Yo, it remind me of Dylan Roof, man. That devil, bro.
Which one was Dylan Roof?
Dylan Roof was the devil that went into the church and prayed. He prayed with the elders.
Yeah.
Then he came and just shot them all up. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Now, my problem is
still alive,
that,
man.
like, my problem is like they really legitimately are going to look at letting this guy get insanity, and that's not cool. Like he needs to go. Like That's mass murder, bro. Like, you gotta go.
Man.
I don't need you sitting this up. I don't need to be the citizens of Buffalo don't need to be spending at least $25,000-$30,000 on your punk ass taking medication.
Yo, it's
like,
funny you say that.
Go.
It's funny you say that because in his manifesto he said that. He was like, they was like, do you want to die like while you do your like this mass shooting? He says, ideally, no, I don't want to die because when I'm alive, I can basically get my message out. And he was like, and the state has to spend money on me. You know what I'm saying? He was like, as long as I'm alive, the state got to spend money. I was like, damn, dude.
Yeah.
Like, he's very, very calculated. You know what I'm saying?
And the fact that he thought this out like this lets you know this motherfucker is not crazy. He needs to go.
Because he know he could give interviews and stuff in the future.
Oh, shit. Money he get paid by the white supremacists. They'll pay him. You know what I'm saying?
He's gonna get commissary out the ass. He ain't gonna want for nothing once he gets in there.
Well, it depends, though. It depends where he get locked up. There's a lot of brothers in jail. Yo, but what?
A lot of white supremacists in jail.
True. But you know what I'm saying? He went to a black jurisdiction with Buffalo. Yo, but I want to know what's up with Dylan Roof, man. Is he protected? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, what's up? You know what I mean? I haven't heard no stories.
Yeah, I haven't heard that.
Probably so. On the inside, he probably is protected on the inside. They took the nigga to Burger King before they took him to jail. I'm pretty sure he's protected when he was he got locked up.
This is what I think. I think the smart brothers, we need to attack this ideology with words and debate, because we need to let people know that white supremacy is a joke. It's not real. It's a hoax. And if we can get that, you know what I'm saying? We got to battle it. We got to battle the thought leaders, man, the Richard, whatever people, Millie Macananis or whatever these people are. Literally have these debates, have these talks, and go one-on-one. Like, imagine Malcolm X, like, just chopping their shit up. It's like, because... You know what I'm saying? Because this shit is it's a killer doctrine, dog.
Right.
It's tearing our country apart. And they literally want a race war. You know what I'm saying? That's literally what they want. You know what I mean?
Well,
I mean, the fascinating part to me is that they forget, especially when we talk about like America and stuff specifically, they forget that these weren't white lands to begin with. You know what I'm saying? Like, it seems like it's that part that always misses.
It's like a mythological past that they have.
Yeah, it's like, you know what I'm saying? If you're in Europe somewhere, okay, maybe, but...
Oh, I didn't know who the fuck that was.
Yeah, I was like, huh?
I was like, who is that?
You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, these ain't your native lands. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
like,
right.
This ain't your ancestral homelands and shit. You know
that's
what I'm
right.
saying? Like, y'all came here and just wiped off a whole group of people that used to be here. And then, I mean, obviously they don't seem to believe in such thing, but they don't believe in karmic justice or something. Like, what you're fearing is possibly a result of some of your own actions for historical.
I was about to say, obviously, it looks like they exempt the karmic justice. This shit should have been taken care of a long ass time ago. God, our karma is slow. I don't know what the fuck we did, but geez Louise.
Yo, man, we enslaved them, man. We enslaved their women. You know what I'm saying? We did a lot. Yeah, we did a lot. Hey, yo, man, what's the fuck we was just talking about?
Ooh, you know, we could probably get into a little bit. I know you did a show on it before, but it was the guy that was one of the head people of the KKK, and he was writing letters back and forth with somebody.
Oh, Elijah Muhammad?
Yeah,
that was a great show, dude.
Yeah, like that kind of.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
Right. That gets into a little bit of this. I feel like.
Damn, dude. I wish I could.
At one point in time, I was drinking buddies with a guy that owned a KKK card. So at one point in time, he was in the Ku Klux Klan.
Right.
And so what I gather, you know what I'm saying? I don't have an answer for why they fuck with us. Meaning, like, when we start to do our own thing and we're trying to bring ourselves up, why they fuck with us. But I do understand the camaraderie and shit that they try to build. Because they kind of told me what was going on. So it kind of makes sense, but it doesn't. Like, so when I say it makes sense, like, what's wrong with wanting the best for your culture? What's wrong with
Nothing.
wanting
Absolutely
right?
nothing.
Right.
But the problem is it's hate filled, and it's you're terrorizing the next group of Americans. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no,
And
no.
that and correct. And that's the
And
issue
remember,
I have.
remember what the KKK was created for. It was after
The first terrorist
Reconstruction.
group.
Yeah, it was after Reconstruction, and the South did not want to honor black judges and black governors, or excuse me, mayors and things of that nature. They did not want us participating in the political process. So they created a terrorist ring, right, that will go ahead and scare us away from voting specifically. You know, I mean, they did other things too, and steal land from us as well. And I also want to know, like, I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget. Like, can they arrest the KKK on RICO charges? They arresting all these niggas on RICO charges. Nigga, arrest the KKK on RICO charges, man.
It's not necessarily considered an organized crime group. It's considered a terrorist group. And when you hit it with RICO, you got to have some form of racketeering, some form of artillery, maybe a little drug here and there. And they don't really fuck around like that to the point to where they're like out here distributing drugs. Yeah, they got a shitload of artillery, but they kind of divide themselves among different militias and things like that. So it's kind of hard to pinpoint just one particular group.
That's a good point.
And they hide themselves.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They join the police.
Yeah.
Now they got a badge to do this shit.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, niggas like throw up they sign, they put tattoos on their face. You know what I'm saying? They, you know what I mean? Red rags, they stand out. Like, you can see, oh, you're from a gang. Yeah.
Now they do have tattoos. You can actually look that shit up on Google. Like, they do have tattoos that can kind of make you
Yeah, they got some white supremacist
aware
gangs.
of who they are, but they tend to be covered up, or their tattoos are done in such a way that they got all jumbled up. You can't really tell what the fuck is what. But
let's read this.
yeah, they do. They actually do have tattoos, and they do have ways of marking themselves to let you know who they are.
Man, oh man,
But they do overlap. They do overlap with other organizations. So the same motherfucker that might be quote unquote white supremacist might also be a Hell's Angel, or might also be a Bandito or some shit like that.
Right.
So you're looking at one
Michigan
thing.
militia.
Yeah, that type of shit.
Right.
So Gendron states in the document that his goals are to, quote, kill as many so-called blacks as possible and to avoid, you read this?
Yeah.
Oh, my fault. And spread ideals.
Yeah, we was over here. It says,
He selected the tops
right
market.
He bolstered his odds of survival by outfitting himself in body armor and other tactical gear and bringing along a medical kit. This nigga thought he was about to be like Rambo
just
out
in
in that
case he
bitch.
got popped, he was gonna tie himself up and keep moving.
Yo, domestic terrorist, dude. He said he selected the tops market on Jefferson. You read that to him.
No.
Because a busy store within his targeted neighborhood, he selected a time to attack, 4 p.m. on a Friday when it would be crowded. It's not clear why he carried out the attack on a Saturday. The manifesto indicates he practiced going through the motions of the deadly attack. It includes a hand-drawn map of the store and a step-by-step plan for what he would do leading up to the attack and once he got inside the store.
Yeah, that nigga was crazy. He crazy like a motherfucking fox. Get that nigga out. He got to go. He got to go.
I agree with you, man. They got to strap him up to that electric chair, man.
On the day, it's super premeditated. It was cold, calculated.
Yep.
On the day of the attack, he writes, he planned to have a corned beef hash for breakfast.
That's that real Irish. That's that Irish kind of food.
Yeah, he looked Irish. He looked Irish.
Yeah.
Lunch at McDonald's after arriving in town and one last walk through the store before gearing up for assault. The manifesto in chilling, matter-of-fact language.
Wait, hold on.
Islam.
My homie chose McDonald's as his lunch? Like, oh man, as my last man, maybe as a free man, because I might get caught, I might die, I might whatever. And he like, McDonald's. That's what I need.
Hey, he spent all the money on the fucking gun. He ain't had no more money left.
I heard though. Go ahead.
He might be able to plead insanity off of that.
But so I saw a journalist talking about this part of Buffalo is a food desert.
What you mean a food desert? Like they ain't got no food?
Yeah, tell me what a food desert is.
Is not like you X amount of square miles away from like having grocery stores and good healthy
and fresh food.
Like not necessarily.
So they like in the middle of bumfuck nowhere. So they gotta drive.
No, a lot of hoods. A lot of. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, this was Buffalo, so this ain't the middle of nowhere. You know what I'm saying?
But like, yeah, a lot of black communities are food deserts.
Yes.
KFCs and Chinese food. You feel me?
Oh, so a food desert is lack of healthy food?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Got you. Okay.
So that might be why. You know what I'm saying? So let's see. The manifesto, to the matter of fact, detailed how he planned to shoot an armed security guard he knew would be standing at the door. It was Aaron Salter Jr., a retired police officer who died a hero, authorities say, in trying to stop this man. Before moving methodically through the store.
Did you shoot the nigga or how do you die a hero? Did you stop him?
Well, I'm sure he probably did something like that. He probably did something, or maybe he tried to draw his holster.
He punched the nigga in the face.
He probably saved some lives. He probably saved some lives.
Tried to holster his weapon, but he got shot when he trying to unholster the gun. Or something.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It could have been like one more person killed.
Shot him? Okay, cool. All right, cool. All right, you shot him. All right.
The man is dead.
You are a hero. I take that back. All right. Cool.
Before moving methodically through the store, fatally shooting as many so-called black people as possible, he live streamed the shooting through a camera on his helmet linked to the internet.
What?
Yep.
What?
Yep.
Bro, if you let that nigga plead insanity, I swear for Jesus. The white Jesus, not just any Jesus. I swear for the white Jesus. If this is some baby bullshit, like that's way too fucking thought out.
Yo, when I was reading this shit, it made me think about
Twitch. The shit's on Twitch. Where's the video?
No, it made me think about the Riddler in Batman.
Yes, it is.
Have you seen the new Batman?
Yeah, the Riddler was wild.
Yeah, but this kind of reminds me of the Riddler in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Because they all had the tactical gear. Remember, at the end, he had his own community of like-minded people. They all had their orders to carry out the attack at the end.
Yeah,
bro,
this is kind of like
this was out of the Batman movie. See, that's what's wrong with these motherfucking movies.
Yeah,
you be giving these motherfuckers ideas.
This gives me that Batman.
You giving these folks ideas, and they wouldn't necessarily thought out themselves. So yeah, I can see this being influenced by the Batman movie.
Police say he killed 10 people, wounded 3 others, shattering a community. He had planned to drive off, shooting more black people before he expected police to reach him. Instead, he meekly surrendered at the store. How the fuck can he surrender, dude?
The cold part is he was like,
damn.
Oh, this is a black community. The police ain't gonna come fast. That was the cold part. Like, if you read between the lines, that's low key what it's saying. Like, oh yeah, I could escape before the police even get there, and I could shoot some more black people outside the store.
Wow.
So last time I checked, I thought body armor was illegal.
Yeah, that's right.
Where the fuck this nigga get a damn SWAT suit from? Man,
and gun enhancements.
You can find anything if you really look for it.
Yeah, the dark web.
Yeah, he probably get. I'm gonna try to get on the dark web for years. I need to see what the fuck is on here. Like, obviously, you can buy a right arm and shit. So I need to see what they have access to. Not saying I want it, but I need to see what's going on.
Yeah. Nah, we need to get into the heart of the replacement theory that they keep talking about. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's what we got to kind of get into. I think
need to know
on the surface we know what
I need to
is.
come up who came up with the replacement theory, because we're kind of like on it, like to where like we get why they have this theory and we know the gist of the theory, but I need to know who came up with this shit.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. We need to kind of, because I feel like we need to get to the root of that, because it's going to be symptomatic of other things.
Is that something you can find on Google, Ali?
I got it right here.
Okay.
Let's see. I got it right here. Let's see. Boom. Let's see. Is it right here? Here it is. Boom. Here it goes. see.
Damn, where they sell a bulletproof vest at? Let me know, so I can come to your state to get one. Cause I sure still can't get one down here.
The Great Replacement. Look at this shit. Anti-imperialism, environmentalism, responsible markets, addiction-free community, law and order, ethnic autonomy, protection of heritage and culture, and workers' rights. With the little swastika kind of thing cracking.
So they're saying their whole shit is based off imperialism, though. So how are they trying to be anti-imperialism now all of a sudden? Okay.
That's the only way they can survive.
It is. Oh, you guys can't see this. My fault. My fault.
They have to force themselves on others in order to get people to like them.
All right,
they
look.
Can't, you know what I'm saying? Nobody fucking with them on no diplomatic shit.
Look,
all right, go ahead, bro.
It's the birth rates. It's the birth rates. It's the birth rates, nigga. If there's one thing I want you to remember from these writings, it's that the birth rates must change. Even if we deport all non-Europeans from our lands tomorrow, the European people would still be spiraling into decay and eventual death.
Yes. Well, see, the reason why I think this is important, because do you remember the Duggars? It was like that, like 15 and counting. It was the Duggars. It used to be a show that came on maybe like A&E or something like that.
Yeah, it was preacher who had like 99 kids.
I don't think it was. I think he had like 15 kids. It was.
I'm exaggerating.
Oh yeah. It was something like 15 to 20 kids.
And they had a shitload of kids. Yeah.
But later on, you kind of realize that this thought was behind all that. That's why they had all those kids. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like this is fusing out into the society and culture. We gotta get to the root of it, because now you have like the Duggars having had 15, 20 kids. Because of the birth rates, because of the plummeting white birth rates. You know what I'm saying? So even though they didn't do anything violent, like they obviously ain't going out there, they're not attacking nobody. And so, you know what I'm saying? So it's whatever, but that's in the back of their minds though.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? We got 15 kids because white people gotta get our numbers up.
Damn.
You know what I mean?
Let me ask you an empirical question, Craig.
What's that?
All right, so you know what I'm saying? You're saying your missus is in science. So you're aware that, you know what I'm saying, the higher someone's education level is, the lower, the less likely they are to have a shitload of kids.
Yep.
So technically, if they're more quote unquote educated than we are, wouldn't that have something to do with why these motherfuckers ain't having kids too?
Exactly.
So I mean, whatever the reason why.
Yes. No.
Technically,
exactly right.
At the end of the day, I'm just keep circling back to the thing is, nigga, you can't blame us for this, bro. You got to only blame yourself.
Yeah.
I think from what the first paragraph you read, I feel like they were kind of hinting at that though, because they said even if you got rid of the immigrants, the Europeans' numbers are still spiraling down and going into decay. So I feel like it's an acknowledgement of what you just said. You know what I'm saying? That's on their part. That had nothing to do with no other groups. You know what I'm saying?
So let's finish reading, man. It's a lot of stuff here. Every day we become fewer in number. We grow older. We grow weaker. In the end, we must return to replacement fertility levels, or it will kill us. To maintain a population, the people must achieve a birth rate that reaches replacement fertility levels. In the Western world, is roughly 2.06 births per woman. Then he has a link to sovereign states and fertility rates. And once you look at that, he's saying that there is not a single Western country, not a single so-called white nation that reaches those levels. Not in Europe, not in the Americas, not in Australia or New Zealand. White people are failing to reproduce, failing to create families, failing to have children.
I think this is why, because we talk about the Republicans and with Russia, I feel like that's why a lot of white-wing Republicans now are kind of siding with Russia because of like shit like this, because they see Russia as like
a white nation,
that last bastion of like.
That's right.
Because I mean, Russia's not purely white, because Russia has a lot of Asian types that be floating.
And so-called Jews.
Yeah, but however, compared to the rest of Western Europe, you know what I'm saying, Russia is seen as like that last bastion of whiteness that's not tainted by all these immigrant groups to the same levels.
Yeah. Wow. But despite this sub-replacement fertility rate, the population in the West is increasing and rapidly. How is this possible? Because of Mexicans?
Immigrants.
Yeah.
Because of Asians in our south of the border, brothers and sisters.
Mass immigration and the higher fertility rates of the immigrants themselves are causing this increase in population. We are experiencing an invasion. You see how he phrases it? Invasion. On a level never seen before in history.
Oh, we've seen it before in history. It was you guys.
Yeah.
When all them Irish was washing up on the shores of the Americas and all them white people. No, we've seen these invasions before.
Yeah.
Bring what the fuck the shit it said at the bottom of the Statue of Liberty? Bring me your poor, bring me your meat, bring me your broken, all something.
Yeah.
Pretty much bring me all your rejects and we'll take them here. Type shit.
And I remember shit in the 1400s. They kicked out millions of fucking Africans out of Europe. I knew that.
No, exactly. I know we've seen this before in history. I don't know what y'all talking about.
Millions of people pouring across our borders legally, invited by the state and corporate entities to replace the white people who have failed to reproduce, failed to create cheap labor, new consumers, and a tax base that the corporation and the state needs to thrive.
I'll say he's not completely wrong there.
Right.
He's not completely
Yes. You know why? Because let's be very honest. What happens is these so-called white people in middle America, they used to manufacture the shit out this country.
Yes.
They used to, you know what I'm saying? They used to make cars. They used to fucking do coal. They used to do a lot of shit. And those jobs are now fucking overseas.
Yep.
Or the Mexican come and he got them jobs. And that's what they talking about.
Basically, the white corporate class sold out the lower white class. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like it's even a tacit acknowledgement of that in this. You know, I mean, I think he's kind of wording it a little off and kind of not taking full responsibility of certain things, but he's hinting at something that I don't think he's completely wrong at, or the author is completely wrong at. Because I feel like, because we're talking about immigrants specifically, especially lower end immigrants, corporations love it because it keeps the wages low. You know what I'm saying? As long as you keep having an immigrant group that comes in that's willing to do the job for cheaper than what your native born citizens are willing to do it for, you keep
why not pay them motherfuckers?
Yep, you keep minimum wage low because there's downward pressure.
That's right.
On it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so he's absolutely right.
Yep.
I mean, he's not wrong, or he or she's not wrong.
Hey, I want to, Bossman, I want to free up the line, man. Pell Ben wants to come in a conversation, brother.
All right, that's cool.
All right, thank you for calling, man.
All right, boss man.
All right, no problem.
All right.
All right, Craig.
All right, you have a good one.
All right, it's on you. It's on you, Ben. The crisis of mass immigration is an assault on the European people that, if not combated, will ultimately result in the complete racial and cultural replacement of the European people. To see this in full effect, you only have to look at the population statistics in the Western nations for the year 2100. What's up, Hell Ben?
Hello?
Okay.
Yo.
Fucking chat, because this shit's so scary. Because if you say if you say the right thing in the wrong way, it's like you fall in their trap.
Really? Like what? Like what?
Because like as soon as you say like, oh, you know, the white people have Europe, it's like no, land doesn't belong to a fucking skin color.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
That's not how any of this shit works. That's what they want you to think.
Okay.
Because if you give them that, now they can put all the black people in Africa.
Yeah.
Now, you know, they can show all these brown people in Mexico.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
You can't give them that. You can't give them that. Land belongs to people.
That's right.
Right. I see what you're saying. I fuck with it.
Because if you give them that, you're feeding into their ideology. You have to keep on hammering like race is not real.
That's right.
This only works if you think race is real.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
Like if a black man, like why is Obama black?
Right.
He's half and half.
That's right.
But because whiteness is based on exclusion and purity.
Yeah.
This idea of the one drop rule.
Yeah.
Right.
The definition of whiteness is created to be degenerated.
Huh.
That's not necessarily what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
But that's how they view everything. Is that white Christian straight men is like, that's the normal thing. That's like, we're operating at 100% capacity, and then everything else degenerates from there. Like, if you're female, you're lesser than a man. If you're, if you're
gay,
Asian, you're more likely to be submissive. And that's
right.
a female characteristic.
That's right.
And it's like, you can't let them have any of this shit, man.
Yeah.
And it's so fucking like sneaky because we live in a white supremacist system.
Yeah.
So like everyone's programmed to think just like them. So you have to break out of it, which is
no, you're absolutely true. What you're saying is absolutely true.
And there's also like economic shit that they're just straight up wrong. Like immigration does not decrease.
This is like I just want to tell a story, dude. I was in Mexico at a like doing a retreat, right? And it was like mad different like Americans there, like, you know what I'm saying? But before I got there, there was a white supremacist that came. Like he had like, you know what I mean, all the tattoos and everything. It's in Mexico. He left the retreat space that we was at and went into the heart of Mexico and was just like talking shit like fucking Mexicans is like beneath me, they're fucking submissive, the white man is dominant. These niggas kidnapped him. These niggas kidnapped this man, dude. And then finally they let him go. And when he came back, he was all beat up and fucked up and bruised and shit. I was like, yo, this nigga's crazy, dog. I was like, this is a true story, dude. True story.
All right, listen. We're not celebrating a white person getting beaten up. We're celebrating a dumbass racist.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's
two different things.
That's right, brother.
Right?
Yes. That's exactly
all right.
what it is.
I wanna come in and drop this.
Right.
And then we can move. Sorry, it's your show, but then I'll shut the fuck up. All right. White people. That first of all, it's made up, and they don't get along. Like, they don't get along. White people don't get along.
That's
Black
right.
people don't get along.
That's right.
There is no such thing as a white culture.
Ooh.
There's German culture.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
There's Italian culture. French, British. Those
That's
are
a great
what we
point.
would call so-called white things. But all these people,
when you
they
put them
don't fucking
together,
like each other.
there is no German,
no such thing as
Italian,
white culture.
Norwegian,
Yeah.
Swiss like
Now,
culture
hold
all
on.
together.
Yes, that's a myth. This whole idea that Europe
does that
is like
sound?
one big thing that you can like. No, they don't even have the same fucking language. Now, it's the same thing with. I like to draw a difference between African and black. I think black is not even a race. I think it's more of an ethnic thing. But if you go to Africa, there's more religions, there's more languages, there's more genetic diversity than any other continent on the planet.
Yes, this is true.
They don't like each other.
Mm-hmm.
There is no such thing as African culture. It's a continent.
Right.
There's no united front there. And that's what they want you to think. They want you to think that it's black versus white. How could there be?
Mm-hmm.
They white people don't like white people, black people. You know what I mean? Like, this is like a made up idea. Like, these two groups. It's like, no, they're not even groups.
Yeah.
That's like what I want to like make sure we understand.
Yeah.
Is like this whole race
Dodge the
war,
hijack.
this whole like this is a whole. They're fucking fooling you. They're trying to fool you. It's like, oh, these people look the same. They must be the same.
Yeah.
It's like, no, they fucking.
Matter of
more
fact,
than two of them that.
Matter of fact, we can't even come with a common definition of what white means or who is white. You know what I'm saying? We can't even. We still are debating who is black and what does that mean. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's totally made up. Have you came across like a so-called white supremacist?
I got this. I had someone basically say to me that Jews control the world.
Oh yeah, I've heard that plenty of
Oh
times.
yeah, that's the basis of most conspiracy theories.
Is there any truth to it?
And no, there is no truth to it, because if by the standards by you say that, like, if you take that standard by how they explain how Jews control the world, I can make a better explanation that the Irish control the world. It's called the Hibernian conspiracy. You can actually look it up.
Huh.
You said the Hibernian conspiracy?
Hibernian. Yeah, I think it's like a B and an N is like right next to each other.
Okay.
Now, obviously, that's not true either. But, like, yeah, it's complete fucking dog shit. Because, like, in order to make it work, they have to keep on abstracting the definition of Jewish. Well,
Yeah.
what is Jewish? Is it a race? No.
No,
Well,
it's a religion.
Well, these people don't practice.
But it's an
Well, is it an
ethnicity.
ethnicity?
But now
Well,
it's
like,
a nationality.
Well, hold on. Well, wait. Now we have to talk about. Well, hold on. What about people that marry into whatever the so-called Jewish thing is? Right.
And,
okay. Well, how about it's not a marriage? Well, maybe like is Trump Jewish? He has a Jewish son-in-law. Is he part of the conspiracy?
Right.
And it's like they have to keep it like every time you like shake a Jewish person's hand, that turns you Jewish in this conspiracy.
Yeah.
So it's like it doesn't make any sense.
Got you. All right, man.
And they're gonna be like, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Because I gotta fucking. I have to debate Nazis. We have to debate Nazis before this shit happens. And we also have to recognize that they don't care if they lose and they don't make sense. They don't care.
Yeah, they don't care if they come across as hypocritical. Yeah.
Well, they don't care if they're right. Stop the hypocritical shit. They don't care that they're right. They hate you.
Yeah.
You can talk. You are black. You are dark skinned. You can be absolutely 100% correct, but you're still subhuman. So they're not going to listen to you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And even if they're talking to another white person, they're just a Negro lover. They're still subhuman. They're a race traitor.
Yeah.
I don't need to listen to them.
Hatred.
They're the enemy.
Yeah. Labels. It's so convenient, right? That's a very convenient thing to do.
And what they
intellectually
care about
dishonest
is they care about strength. They care about what they think strength is. And what they think strength is what a weak man thinks strength is. Being loud, being like aggressive.
A strong man, like a Donald Trump.
Being insecure, what an insecure man thinks strength is.
Yeah.
They don't care about democracy.
Nope. Not anymore.
They care about strength.
Hey man, I want to continue reading, man. I want thank you for sharing that with us, brother.
All right, I'm gonna get off this. Then.
Yeah, thanks, man.
All right, cool, man.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, thanks, PLB, for deprogramming the program. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right, I just want to finish reading this, guys. I don't want to keep everybody too long. All right, this is white genocide. To return to replacement level priority number 1. But it's not a simple task. There are a myriad of reasons behind the decline in fertility rates and the destruction of the traditional family unit.
So they're kind of getting into a little homosexual, gay agenda, so-called agenda, whatever.
We must inevitably, because their whole thing, anti-feminism as well.
Yeah.
We must inevitably correct the disaster of the hedonistic, nihilistic individualism. Interesting. But it will take some time. Time we do not have because of the crisis of mass immigration. Due to mass immigration, we lack the time scale required to enact the civilization paradigm shift we need to undertake to return to health and prosperity. Mass immigration will disenfranchise us, subvert our nations, destroy our communities, destroy our ethnic binds, destroy our culture, destroy our peoples. Long before low fertility rates could ever could. Thus, before we deal with the fertility rates, we must deal with the invaders within our lands and the invaders to seek them who to enter our lands. We must crush immigration and deport those invaders already living on our soil. It's not just a matter of prosperity, but the very survival of our people. Before Craig used to talk, that is exactly how they spoke in 1492 when they expelled the Moors. I promise you, read the book Gods of War. You read the book Gods of War, you had Turquemada talking like this. When they were the Inquisition, this is how they spoke. Promise you.
No, I was going to say, with all the mass immigration talk, how does so-called black people always get involved into this? Well, because even by the common history that they teach us, it's like, y'all brought us here.
That's
so
right.
it's like, why are you going to target us?
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why are you targeting us for mass immigration when we ain't got nothing to do with that?
But like you said, the Americas is not your lands. It's not your lands, dog.
Hey, Pale Ben said land is land. It just belongs to people.
Yeah, that's right. All right, so answering possible questions. So here's the question and answer. Who are you?
This is white man. This is
the white man 101s. The white man 101s.
White supremacist 101s.
Oh man.
Oh, the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, they twisted his works.
In general, who are you? Just an ordinary white man, 28 years old, born in Australia to a working low-class family, Scottish, Irish, and English stock. I had a regular childhood without issues, whatever. Why did you carry out the attack? To revenge on the invaders and the hundreds of thousands of deaths caused by foreign invaders in European lands throughout history. Let me read this part here. To most of all, show the invaders that our lands will never be their lands. Our homeland are our own, and that as long as the white man still lives, they will never conquer our lands. They will never replace our people.
Whew. That's a lot to unpack there. These ain't your lands, though.
Wow. To avenge those European men and women lost in the constant and never-ending war of European history, who died in their lands, died for their people, only to have their lands given away to any foreign scum that bothered to show up.
Wow.
Now, you guys, we must really understand that a lot of immigration is happening in Europe. Yes. So this ideology is happening a lot in Europe, the European motherland.
Wow.
See?
That's an airplane.
Okay. To create an atmosphere of fear and change. Damn. Powerful revolutionary action can occur to add momentum to the pendulum swings of history, further destabilizing and polarizing Western society in order to eventually destroy the current nihilistic, hedonistic, individualistic insanity that has taken control of Western thought. To drive a wedge between the nations of NATO that are European and the Turks that also make part of the NATO forces, thereby turning NATO once more into a united European army and pushing the Turks once more back to true position of an enemy force. They don't want the Turks, nigga. Woo. They trying to get Islam the fuck up out of there, dog.
Wow. That lets you know right there what it is. Man.
Finally, to create, here it is for us in America, guys. Finally, to create conflict between the two ideologies within the United States on the ownership of firearms in order to further the social, cultural, and political racial divide within the United States. This conflict, you want me to read it again? Or?
Yeah, I was just trying to grasp what he was talking
finally, about. To create conflict between the two ideologies within the United States on the ownership of firearms.
Right.
In order to further the racial divide, the social divide, and the cultural divide in the United States.
So basically use guns as a way to stoke.
Yes, Bossman.
Okay.
Bossman said he want anarchy. Yeah, basically, that's right.
Yeah. Okay.
This conflict over the Second Amendment and the attempted removal of firearm rights will ultimately result in a civil war that will eventually balkanize the United States along political, cultural, and most importantly, racial lines. This balkanization of the United States will not only result in the racial separation of the people within the United States, ensuring the future of the white race on the North American continent, but also ensuring the death of the melting pot pipe dream.
Man, do these people that always, all right, I don't want, well, I know we're talking about this. I don't want to sidestep into something else. But do these people that often talk about the Second Amendment right to bear arms, do they actually read the Second Amendment? Because if you actually read the Second Amendment, it's like the reason why we had gun rights in the U.S. to begin with was because we weren't supposed to have a standing army. At the time, the thought was instead of having a standing army, all of the citizens will have guns, and when it's time for conflict, no nation will want to attack us because everybody's strapped. But as a trade-off for that, we would never have a standing army or standing whatever. And that was the whole reason why. And so having a standing army then kind of takes away the whole point of why the Second Amendment was even created. Like, I don't know if these people, they always talk about the Second Amendment, but I don't think they actually read the Second Amendment. Because if you actually read the Second Amendment, it would actually argue that we're not supposed to even have guns right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have a standing army, therefore everybody shouldn't have guns. Like, it actually would argue against that if you actually read the shit. But people go by what they think the Second Amendment is and not what it actually is.
Let's see. The Second Amendment, what our founding fathers feared. Yeah, I'm not going to read this whole thing.
Yeah.
But wow. Standing army, permanent standing army. And plus, them niggas, were they really talking about AR-15s and all this kind of shit?
Right, exactly.
The gun is civilization. The psychological problem of gun haters. Wow, look, the Star of David. Damn. These niggas, Jews for the preservation of the firearms ownership. Wow. It's a lot of... All right, let's see.
Oh, no, let's move on, though.
Yeah. What do you want? We must ensure the existence of our people and for a future of white children. Was there a particular event or reason you decided to commit a violent attack? He talked about a little...
Let's go to that Western Europe part. Hold on, I was traveling through Western Europe.
Yeah, he saw a little white girl get injured. Oh, no, he traveled to Western Europe and he saw, like, so many non-Europeans and... You know what I'm saying? I was traveling as a tourist to Western Europe, France, Spain, and Portugal. He went through the Islamic states. The first event happened to begin. It was a terror attack in Stockholm. It was a terror attack, and it changed them, whatever. And then a little white girl. See, there's always a white girl like ethos. You know what I'm saying? There's a white girl named Ebba Ackerlin because Ebba, look, the difference was Ebba Ackerlin, the young, innocent, dead Ebba. Ebba was walking to meet her mother after school when she was murdered by an Islamic attacker driving a stolen vehicle through the shopping. I'm going to do it all for Ebba. I'm doing it all. You know what I mean? It's like a movie. You know what I'm saying? Like the little white girl gets saved in the end, you know?
I don't know. That should be wild to me.
Yep. Did the groups you support or align in order to promote? No group ordered my attack. I make decisions on it. Though I did contact the Knights Templar for a blessing in support of the attack, which was given. Huh?
The reborn Knights Templar, huh?
What do you represent? Millions of European and other ethno-nationalist people that wish to live in peace amongst their own people, living in their own lands, practicing their own traditions, deciding the future of their own kind. Let me tell you something about this. Human beings always segregate themselves. Human beings will always find ways to be apart, right? So I went to you went to a UCLA. So all of the black people probably hung out. You probably have black student unions and stuff like that, right? Because you guys were a minority, right? I went to Howard University. So do you think all the black people are going to hang out? Like, no, we found ways to separate ourselves. The California people had a group. You see what I'm saying? The DC people, you see what I'm saying? Right. So regardless of how heterogeneous or homogeneous, it will be ways to separate yourselves.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like a myth. Oh, we're all white and so it's all good. You know. So any which way, man. So what do you think about what we talked about so far, man? You know what I'm saying? talked about
I
tonight.
mean, it's fascinating just to go into because I heard about the replacement theory, but to kind of go through some of the nitty gritty of it and some of the details to kind of get behind it. If you just ignore history, I guess it seems like it might make sense enough. But as soon as you even mildly think about history, it doesn't make any sense. They're talking about the invasion of people as if they didn't invade lands and do exactly what they're talking about. I don't know. I mean, it's a lot of what Pale Ben was talking about, like the construct of race to begin with, which, I mean, if you're already indoctrinated in thinking of racial groups, I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense. But, that's right. I mean, the only part of it, I guess I could say that makes more sense than the other parts would be about white people not having replacement level babies and, like, so-called white people, and then them needing to step their game up basically on having more kids.
Yeah. That's right.
I mean, I guess that makes sense for them from that standpoint. But I just don't understand why they can't harp on that message a little bit more, because that part of the message doesn't necessarily preach. Well, but the rest of it does. But that's not necessarily violence against other people. It's just, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's more so like what we need to do. You know what I'm saying? Like we need to start having more babies, which I don't necessarily have a problem with that on the same level.
Yeah, I don't. I really don't. Yeah. But I have a problem with you taking a gun and mowing down innocent people.
Exactly.
Yep.
And then it's just the connection where it's like you're just making wild connections where you're trying to say there's one chick that got killed by some Islamic people in Scotland or whatever country it was, Stockholm or something. But it's like, what does that got to do with some black people in Buffalo?
That's right.
Who, by your history, by the common history, your people brought here to begin with. You know what I'm saying? These people, by your common history, these people wouldn't even be here if you didn't bring them over here. So it's like,
I have to be honest. What we saw was from the New Zealand. What we read was from the New Zealand nigga.
Okay.
But a lot of it was the same. Yeah.
Okay.
Just
I thought that was from that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But you still make it doesn't take away from your point though.
Right.
All right, guys, man. I hope you guys enjoy the discussion. You know what I'm saying? Yo, this is what I think. I think we all need to talk to the local gangbangers in our community and say, hey, what would you guys do if, you know what I'm saying, somebody came with a gun and was shooting indiscriminately? We need you guys, because the police is going to come with kid gloves or not come or barely come. They'll eventually come, but we need the gangbangers on call, real shit, because we need people to protect the neighborhood, because you guys are our soldiers. You know what I'm saying? You guys are our frontline warriors. Plus, y'all claim these hoods. People is coming into the hood and they mowing down civilians. So let's talk to the local brothers, because guys, trust me, there's another devil out there somewhere thinking about this, inspired, and probably wants to do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So there you go. Yep, earn some real stripes. So there it is, man. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. He said, I don't even leave out my house without a strap. Gotta get that strap, Aki.
Yeah, gotta keep that hammer on you.
Gotta keep that hammer, Aki.
Gotta keep that hammer on you, Aki.
Thank you for Pale Ben and Bossman for the great calls. I appreciate it, fellas. Thank you, Craig, for stopping by.
All right.
You guys can share the show, like after the show when you go on the profile. You can literally share just the show. So that's how I do. All right, you guys, thank you for the props and everything. I got 315. Thank you. All right, you guys. Peace.
All right, peace. What do you think about the Pale Ben calls?
It's cool. It's cool.